Hey, everybody. Welcome back to What's That All About? No more calling off episodes or any crap like that. I just can't even be bothered. Honestly, I lost track. So that's really the real reason. Okay. So, do you remember one of my last videos? I did the latest update on the whistleblower um, information, like from David Grush, the information that he came forward with, and I had links to the interview and all that stuff that Ross Coulthart did. Okay, well, anyway, after at the end of that, when I updated you on that, I told you about this dark website called 4chan that actually had an anonymous source claiming to have worked at a facility as a craft analysis at an underwater, it's in like the Bermuda Triangle area of the world, and it's a mobile construction facility that can move if it needs to, if it's sensing that it needs to be away from whatever. But this is the place that they make each orb or craft to specifically like to be built for whatever mission they're being harnessed for. So say it's topography or surveillance, or even in the rare case of abduction, they are built and then actually are taken back, melted down so that their parts can be reused. So it's a constant moving thing, but I did tell you about that already. So I just wanted to mention that because I'm back on 4chan. It's funny because what I just stumbled across this time feels actually a little bit more dangerous to know about, because when you scour the web other than at 4chan, there is nothing on this stuff that I found on this. Okay, so this time I found something called Sunland. Okay. And as an FYI, when I was trying, like I just said, when I was trying to dig for more about this facility, I mean, there's a bunch of things called Sunlands, but a lot of it is just retirement homes, lots of stuff out in California. There is a biotech company, but it would never be that apparent anyway, that it is called Sunland. And it was founded by an unknown government organization after the surge in paranormal activity. They were the ones who funded the creation of Project Angela. Okay, this is something I've absolutely never heard of. I'm going to be pretty sure you haven't either. This is pretty disturbing. All right, let's start and just get to it. I'll tell you more about Project Angela in a minute, but Sunland mainly serves as a foundation for different government agencies and organizations to collaborate with one another on certain matters that are deemed too large or too dangerous to handle themselves. Okay, so they're like the backup team, and it's also responsible for recruiting people to be part of again, they use some terms and I did not even know what they were, and they didn't really explain them. I was kind of like confused about that. But anyway, and they recruited people as part of the INCC. I don't know. It's like a low-level nerve center control for whatever. Now, this small group who works directly for Jay. Now, Jay, there's no last name provided, but he's, I guess, he's called the director of Sunland. Your guess is as good as mine. Basically, this group keeps tabs on any unusual happenings across North America and beyond. So, beyond. They have had a ton of encounters and with bizarre creatures. When they do not go into explaining what these bizarre creatures are. This is again from another anonymous source. So, nothing is really. I think that these people are in definite fear of their lives and don't want to give too much description about what they do because it may identify them to other people who scour these websites to see if anyone's divulging like this information that they shouldn't be, so that they get on their radar to be Well, we'll get to that. All right. So they keep tabs. And they've witnessed the abduction of Audley. This is what I was trying to think of. They've witnessed Sunland, I guess, employees. They have witnessed a lot of abductions of teenagers, which I'm guessing that means it's because they're like the prime age, puberty, right? I mean, that's like, they're like ripe for the picking, especially the women. Because I don't know how much female presence there is in some of the races that we're in contact with, especially the ones that are like android related. Anyway, I get ahead of myself quickly. And keep in mind, I usually have like 4 or 5 different topics that I'm working on. So sometimes they cross contaminate, and I apologize. So I'll try to keep focused here. Now, Project Angela was founded due to all the strange encounters. Okay. And this Sunland decided to meet with the other organization agencies and both civilian and military to discuss what could be done. The idea of using a government funded project to try and communicate with entities on the other side was created. Again, Project Angela. Now, the name was chosen of Angela. It's not a person. It's chosen because of what its true meaning is, which is angel or messenger. So, obviously there's meaning behind a lot of things that these guys do. This project officially started on August 1st of 2013. All right. Now, of note, it began around the same time the sightings of these bizarre creatures were starting to increase. And for some unknown reason, but possibly they think it might be the fact that these creatures came through because of all the chaos that's going on here, and it kind of left us vulnerable. But Project Angela is phase 2 of something called the Alpha experiment. And after years of testing various methods, they came down to sending 2 individuals, male and a female, and to different points in space-time. And once they were there, they would attempt contact with the entities on the other side. Now, the 2 people chosen were Matthew Fraser and Kristen Kelly. I put a note to myself, like, it might as well have been Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I tried to just look up anything I could find on these 2. Yeah, there's a lot of those people out there. I mean, Matt Fraser, Kristen Kelly, seriously? Okay. So anyway, too much to track. So this experiment took place on August 10th, 2016. Both subjects were able to make it back safely, thank God, but they had interesting footage. Of course, they don't provide it. That is now being analyzed, they claim, by scientists at Sunland's headquarters, known as Skywatch Tower. God, that sounds like something out of a comic book, doesn't it? Who knows? Maybe it is. Now, Matt and Kristen were returned home safe, and until such time, if Sunland decides to move forward with their next experiment, which they're calling phase 2 beta, alpha, beta, yeah. And it's of note to say that these experiments are not without a lot of risk, okay? A lot of things can go wrong and can lead to injuries or death. And they're disclosed. I mean, that's all disclosed before they accept the responsibility of going. Now, phase 2, beta, would involve, again, the same, not necessarily the same 2 people, but 2 people. But this time they'd be separated from each other for a certain amount of time. And it will require a lot of training, intense mind and body training before it's ready to, it's not prepared yet. It's not, they've done small testing and small amount. Well, the Alpha project was successful, but that was like, they need to do many more of that before they get to the next step. So now the director of Sunland, Jay, he's a mysterious figure, obviously, but he is said to have successfully linked his mind with an entity from the 5th dimension, allowing him to travel through time and space in astral form. Okay, that's like third eye stuff, guys. Remember, way back, I had a whole episode on third eye, or the power of 3, it's called. All right, anyway. Now, Jay's also a member of something called the Order. I have used that term many a times, and I'll say why in a moment. The members of the order consist of mainly scientists, philosophers, and engineers, etc. Sounds an awful lot like the Illuminati, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So the order meets mostly at night to keep their presence unknown, hidden, and all that stuff, which, that, of course. Um, so in order to better understand their basic purpose, they claim their purpose is to understand how otherworldly beings function, and how, in order to better understand themselves as humans and find out why we exist on Earth. Now that sounds lovely, but it's bullshit. Okay. Now some members of the order have used its power for more sinister purposes. Now this is what I've heard about. Okay. And honestly, the Illuminati are said to have an obnoxious amount of power and influence, right? And they're powerful people placed in very powerful positions throughout, especially our government. So now there was a significant breach, okay, on January 1st of 2017, when a rift, they call it, was opened up between dimensions, allowing entities from other worlds to enter this dimension. Spaghetti-o. This is what caused an increase in sightings of paranormal activity around North America at that time. So entities were also coming through the breach, which led to encounters with civilians, government organizations on Earth, and one occurred on as soon as January 7th of 2017. And it was over South Carolina. There was at night these like very strange bright lights that came seemingly out of nowhere and then disappeared the same way. And they were reported by endless amounts of people. So, even if you just Google it, it's all out there. You'll see. Now, this went on for years until Project Angela decided to investigate it along with the order, because they needed to kind of get together on this. They found that an opening or portal above South Carolina was allowing creatures, again, they use that creatures word, from other dimensions, okay, to come into our dimension. They also learned there was a rift located at the center of the Earth. That is dangerous. FYI, this is information being shared by an anonymous source who claims to be a low-level engineer with Sunland. He also makes claims that his family on his father's side was directly linked to Project Angela and the creation of it. And that's why he has the knowledge he has. Okay. He also says that if Sunland finds out he's sharing this information, they will certainly kill him. Kind of a familiar pattern with that. A lot of these whistleblowers come forward, like David Grush came forward basically to save his life. He's been put through so much. His house has been broken into. People have come after him, his family, and it's disgusting and disturbing. And this country is filled with some pieces of shit, as we all know. Now, he also mentions that he fears the discoveries from Project Angela could lead to weaponization of their unique technology. Now, okay, their technology can create, get this, holes in reality, and they can extend a handshake basically to entities more powerful than we can even comprehend. Now, it falls into the wrong hands and it's game over for us. Like, fucking, we're toasted. That's it. And there's nothing we can do. Nothing. So, a second anonymous source kind of chimes in to the feed on 4chan, and he says Sunland specifically works on researching and weaponizing extra-dimensional beings. So these creatures, okay, and making sure nobody finds out. Now, this source claims he's witnessed people get ripped to shreds when in contact with these creatures. Super duper. And they're working with us too. Anyway. But then again, some aliens have been known to be malevolent, and they've gone after humans, as Ryan, why do I keep calling him Ryan? As David has said during his disclosure, he said aliens have killed humans. So there you have that. So that kind of validates what's happening here. Like what I'm reading about, I'm like, oh my God, this is like, it's too familiar. You know what I mean? And he also says that if Sunland ever stumbles across the website where they're all talking about this and they've discovered who you are, or if you start to talk about it like I am, and they consider you a threat, they will, they will come after you in more ways than one. Word murder was mentioned, so that was when I did like I'm sorry, what now? Because I'm just a YouTuber. Like, woo! Please, no harm, no foul. I am just reporting what I'm learning. So here's a really creepy addition. I just want to add one more thing. This source also says that these creatures claim to need 3 specific people. Not it. Who remain anonymous, obviously for safety reasons. And these 3 people apparently know something we don't. Please share about the creatures and their key to harnessing the full potential of them. So I don't know. Our relationship with the creatures is mutual, though. We help them, they help us in a lot of instances. So I mean, as long as people are playing well in the sandbox, that's cool. But if something goes wrong and because, let's be honest, the Americans especially, the powerful want to stay powerful. So they're not gonna give too much. They'll give the appearance of sharing, but they really won't be sharing everything. Why would they? That would be foolish. So that's what I found. I mean, obviously, it's up to you to believe it or not. I feel like it's part of a show, believe it or not. But yeah, scared the crap out of me. Scared me enough to want to share it and get it out there into the world. So, anything happens to me, play this. I hope until next time that you are staying happy and healthy. I have some doozies coming up. I'm just going to tell you, it's more ACIO, advanced contact. Shit. What is it called? You know what I mean. ACIO. I have too many acronyms around. It's ridiculous, actually. It's quite embarrassing. Advanced or alien depends on your, definition of. Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization. Yeah, I have Wingmakers coming up. Plus, I have something called the Umbrella Corporation, along with the Rainstorm Corporation. Nasty, nasty stuff, guys. Scary, and you should know about it. So I'm going to end up sharing all of that with you coming up soon. So again, until next time, I do hope you are staying happy and healthy. And stay weird, but stay alert. And take care. Bye.